Oh, we're back, ladies and gentlemen, here on the AK Racing YouTube channel. We're here for a brand new series. I feel like I was here just last night. I can still smell myself from then. We're back tonight. It's the 1998 season calendar of the V8 Supercars. We're going on a little trip down memory lane here. Ford versus Holden, Holden versus Ford. Who's going to come out on top? That was the championship winning car, I'm pretty sure, that year. I may be wrong. The Glenn Seaton. Or did he not win one? Talking to the wrong man. It was a long time ago, 1998. I can't remember what happened. Maybe Luke Newing can, because he is at the front, top of the timesheets as it is. I'm totally underprepared for this stream, ladies and gents, but I hope you enjoy the ride, as it's going to be fairly action-packed by the looks of it. We've got 14 cars out on track, which is not bad considering 23 have signed up for this series. Always a bit of an attrition rate, as people like to sign up and get excited, but they never actually turn up. Surprised our friends didn't show up for that one. But nonetheless, Luke Newing is on top with a 1:13.3 here around Sandown. So what we're going to do, actually, to kick things off, is we're going to try and get the chopper cam going straight away. I think I've lost it, actually. Where are we? Where's that chopper cam gone? There we go. So we can take a bird's eye view, or at least a chopper pilot's view, of this beautiful old circuit here called Sandown Raceway. We'll ride on board with Luke Newing, as there is 1 minute and 5 seconds left to go in this free practice session. So after this, we'll be kicking off with 15 minutes qualifying and 2 24-lap races. Here we go as we come out of the final turn and up the main straight. See if we can get a decent view here. We'll get some altitude, perhaps, to get a good look at turn 1 here. It looks almost a 90-degree left-hand turn here. Riding the curbs as much as you can into turn 2, 3, and 4. This little complex, quite technical. A lot of time lost and gained here, as Luke just sort of turned in a little bit early there for 4. You want to get that. You want to get that turn correct. You want to nail it, so you can slingshot your way up this main straight as we go past the Sandown horse track there on the left. Let's stick to the course proper, because you get to the top of the hill here, and this is the infamous turn 6, where we might see a few incidents tonight. Luke Newing using all the track and a little bit more of the runoff there. The hard braking zone here for turn 9, and he'll run up on the curbing on the outside, using as much as possible. That is turn 10, and we're getting to 11, 12, and 13 here, and that is the 1 lap of Sandown Raceway. This is the 2012 variant. I think it's just the sort of the lines on the track and everything to make it look like 2012, because that's as close as we can get to 1998. But that is free practice done and dusted. So we're going to take a quick break on the channel, and we will be back very shortly for qualifying.
Skirts, boys flirt, bong sweat, handcuffed on the pavement. Disrespect, spray cans, goon bags, lads in polo shirts and polo hats. Bullies, schoolies, threesome, cigarettes, dead kids in accidents, stealing money, stealing phones, roller kid. Have a cone! Go on! Casinos dress up homophobic, dope smoking. Hands up! Hands up! Racism with a group of mates, a bag of rack, perpetuate. It's too much too young. Don't think, don't blink. It's too much too young. Don't think, don't blink. It's too much too young. Don't think, don't blink. It's too much too young. Don't think. Don't think.
Right, looks like it's we've come back just in time for qualifying. Let's get out on track and let's have a look at who's out there first. Ryan Snook's out there on track. Actually, we can get a the thing up here. It's Cooper Shipley is the first man out on track tonight. We've got 14 minutes and 27 minutes, seconds left of qualifying left. Oh boy. I'll tell you what, we were frantically scrambling this evening trying to get the servers up and running, as we had a fair few bugs and technical difficulties getting into the server tonight. Fairly standard for sort of the first round of a new series. Typically standard for the first round of a new series, but look, we got here in the end. We are about half an hour late, but that is okay because there's plenty of racing to come, and hopefully we're not going over too many of these boys' bedtimes. But, I've got a pressing matter I need to deal with right now, so we're going to get a little bit of music to follow these guys around. And we might ride on with Cooper Shipley and get a maybe a... There we go, that's a pretty good view. We can hear the roar of this V8 engine go around Sandown. That is a lap of Sandown. Cooper Shipley goes to the top with a 1:14.1. I'm going to kill that music for now. Hopefully my kids stay in bed now so we can get on with the racing. Go the E-Series, says Matty Riches. E10 in these things, maybe, I don't know. Dean Karki goes second on the timing table with a 1:14.9. Just on clipping on his heels is Sean North. With Nathan Hughes sitting in 5th position, just trailing that yellow car at the moment. Oh no, that's the 18 of... Oh, that must be Bill Cosmarigas, the 10K man. He's back in AK Racing. We've not seen him for a while. Yeah, absolutely, Fly. These things do look cracking. based off an existing model out there, but the physics have been completely redone and overhauled according to spec, I believe. Some leaked garage information on suspension geometry and all sorts of things. So these are actually quite a lot of fun to drive. They are as difficult as you would imagine. Big, heavy V8 supercars on fairly thin tyres. So they like to get a little bit sideways. But there goes, who's that in the 111? That is Nathan Hughes. He is gone. He's looped it. As I said, they're not the easiest things to drive, these things. In the meantime, Ryan Carlson has gone to the top with a 1:13.7. Looking good, and purple in the first sector is Ryan Carlson. Not seen him before. Goes purple in the second sector, so he is on time here to beat his personal best. He has actually just gone down. No, as you can see in the bottom right-hand side of your screen, ladies and gentlemen, he is 2.5 tenths up as we speak. So this could be a low 13, even a low 12, or a high 12, depending on his exit here out of 13. It's pretty decent, so he's looking to maybe go better by about 3 tenths. This could be a 13.2. It is. So he clears the field now by 3 tenths. Cooper Shipley just nipping at his heels. Looking back, Dean Karki here in that beautiful Larry Perkins, number 11. Now that brings back some memories, that livery, I'll tell you what. Look at that, looks absolutely schmick. But he's about 4 tenths off his personal best in the first sector, so he won't be, well actually he is, he's on to improve by 2 tenths. So that green +4 is on the best time. So he's 4 tenths off Carlson in the first, he's 1 tenth off him in the second, which is pretty good. So he's on to improve here by at least half a second, actually. Almost a second here. Dean Karki putting in a fantastic lap. We're going to ride on board and see how he navigates this last sector here. Just trying to spot his braking marker into turn 11. 12 and 13 to come. Oh, that looks pretty tidy to me. He's actually lost a little bit of time there, though, and he will be about 5 tenths up as a third. 14.3 puts him up into 5th position as it is. Nathan Hughes eclipses him immediately and is only 8 thousandths off Luke Newing there in 3rd position. Thomas Wilson just getting out for his first flying lap now. We expect him to be right up there at the end of this qualifying session. There is still 7 minutes to go. This 15 minutes is a long time in qualifying land. We'll go through some of the drivers we haven't seen before. We've not seen Ryan Carlson in anything. So very well done to him to be quick out of the blocks. Not seen him in any of the other Discords around. So Thomas Wilson actually just goes straight to the top on his first flying lap with a 12.5. So very good job for Tom. Tough work, any of these guys running him down tonight, I'll give you the hot tip. Brody Sharp's in the server, just doing a bit of overtaking, and that's the trouble I found with these cars. Very touchy on entry. The arse end would always want to overtake the front on entry. Very hard to sort of dial out. Ended up having to go for a different setup philosophy, really, that I'm used to. So really have to stiffen that front end. Especially the ARBs, you don't want the front end dipping too much and letting that rear end whip around as you dip on the brakes. Bill Kosmarikis, we haven't seen him for a little while in the V8 series. Too busy making that sweet 10k a day or a week. I don't know, whatever it is, he's fully cashed up here and he's ready for a good qualifying session. As he dips it into turn 6, just using all the road and a little bit more, dipping over the thing, trying to get the brakes on. Can it get stopped? Fair bit of smoke signal coming from the front tyre there. Manages to keep it on the road nicely. He is currently not on a personal best, so he won't be improving here. We've got Ryan Snooks, our newest series runner here at AK Racing. He's the man to see. If you've got any questions about this series, he's the man running it. And he was the man to update the physics. So send him all the love if you end up testing these cars and find them enjoyable to drive. Just let him know. I'm sure he'd enjoy that. And he's been working on these things for quite some time, and you can see in the body language how planted they are. Whoa, is that? That's somebody off the track there. Bill Cosmarikas, maybe? Sean North, perhaps? I think it was Sean North in the number 43. Yep, that's him for sure. But Snooks here looking just outside his personal best of a 15 flat. As I was saying before, these cars very enjoyable to drive, very rewarding as well. Quite difficult to handle. Oh, there's another couple of cars off. I think the Coca-Cola car just spooked Snooks as he came over the top of the hill, and that's the end of that lap for him. Mahoney is having some troubles as well down at the bottom of turn 9. It's all happening. Sarge Biff, I don't think that's his name. We might have to get that changed to a real name for the next time, Sarge Biff. Who else is out there? Sean North just completing an outlap now, so we're going to get to see how he handles these monsters. These V8 monsters from yesteryear. When was 1998? 25 years ago? Might have been going around longer than some of these guys have been born. Sean North getting all sorts of sideways there through 2 and 3. Or 3 and 4, should I say. So that's not going to earn him any favours on the timing tower. Got to keep him in a straight line. I've noticed for these things you can't just be smoking them up out of every turn. Be fairly careful on the old loud pedal. Xander Sharp is in the pits, has not done a lap yet, so maybe he's trying a last to first challenge. Hard to say. Wilson's yet to improve. I don't think he needs to. He's half a second clear of Ryan Carlson at the moment. Oh, Carlson is off. Turn 6 claims another one. That's the old the bin chicken. Thank you very much, bin chicken. I need some sound in my headphones here. Cooper Shipley, the next man to go across the line, complete his lap, and go around for another turn. Stops the clock at a 13.4. Just shy of his personal best. So he'll be looking to improve there. He's just about on par with his personal best as it stands. They seem to ride the curbs fairly well, these cars. That's not one you want to be riding there on the inside of turn 4. He shoots his way up the back straight towards turn 6. Very difficult corner. Locks him up. Gets a little bit sideways. Uses that exit curbing to perfection. Gets it turned in nicely there too. That's very tidy stuff. If this isn't a PB, I'd be eating my shoes. He is on for a personal best here, ladies and gentlemen. Can he get it pulled up and a nice tidy exit out of 13? It looks pretty good so far. He's up 1.5 tenths, but he's losing He's losing tenths. He's losing time. Oh, it's not going to be a personal best, is it? Oh, no, it's not. He must have invalidated the lap, or he's actually no, he's only improved by an official B's dick, so there's not much in it there for him. He's someone we haven't seen yet. Luke Newing. We started off with him. See how he's faring. He's also on for a 13.4. That seems to be the sort of average time. There's a couple of guys on a 13.4. Actually, there's 1,000ths between him and Shipley at the moment. That is fucking close. Oh, and he has just improved to a 13.3, so he will go up to the second row provisionally, and this will be his last flying lap. We're right on board with Luke Newing. Let's see if he can get himself on that front row. Not with that kind of sideways entry. I said these cars are very hard to keep straight on the entry. Something that really needs to be sort of tweaked in your setup when you come to a track like this. Do not want the arse end overtaking the front on the way in. It just gives you no confidence to really sling it in and let the front tyres do their job for fear of the rears letting go instantly. And if that happens, you're absolutely toast. So here he comes into turn 6, just losing the rear again. Oh, having to oversteer and correct it going down the hill, getting down into second gear, turning the front end in, and it sticks. But he's also lost a fair bit of time there. It doesn't look like he's going to improve. As I say that, he's gone and gone. He's a 10th up already. Very slidey, this car. Look at that. A lot of overcorrection from Newing, and that's going to be all she wrote. He's not going to improve on that lap. Hughes is going to pull over as well. He's had enough. Ryan Carlson is looking at an improvement as well. He might be able to dip into the 12s. But he's going to have to dip into the 12s a fair way to improve. Actually, Nathan Hughes has improved to a 12.7. So Carlson's going to need to get a boogie on here for the final turn. It's not going to happen. He has bled just a little bit of time in that last couple of turns. So he will have to be happy with third position provisionally. Cooper Shipley still out on the track. He is the last man to come across the line as he comes around 13 and 14 and he pulls it into the pit. So that is the end of that qualifying session, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to go for a little spin in the chopper. Get a look at this little nice lake there in the middle. Maybe get a vantage point of the pit lane. And we will be back, ladies and gentlemen, with race 1 very shortly. So don't go anywhere. who wrote that song about me. Anyway, enough about that. We are here back for race 1. Somebody stop me. We are here. We've got 24 laps to go here in this race 1 for the evening. Thomas Wilson on pole position with Nathan Hughes on his outside. Ryan Carson on the second row on debut with Luke Newing, Cooper Shipley and Joe Mahoney. Or Mahoney. We'll get a confirmation on how to pronounce that one later on. Dean Karki and Sharp behind them with Cosmoricus and DeLuca behind them with Sean North, Snooks, Sergeant Biff and Xander Sharp, I believe, is in the safety car for this evening. So I don't know if we'll need a safety car with this little amount of car on the track, but you can see Nathan Hughes just testing the steering rack there of that EL Supercar. It seems to be working fine to me. We're almost ready for a start. We've got 30 seconds. We're going to hear the roar of these old school V8 Supercars. They're 25 years old, ladies and gentlemen, and we've got 25 seconds on the clock until we get some action. I'll tell you what, I'm looking forward to it. Keller Hacks has needed Daddy Cam. Big Daddy Cam. All right, well, we'll see what we can do next week. But we've got lights on and lights away, and that's a pretty good start from Hughes, actually. He's going to get the whole shot here. At least he's got his nose in front. Thomas Wilson caught napping a little bit, but he's late on the brakes. Shoves her nose right in there. Cooper Shipley looking for a way through. Also very late on the brakes, but Newing's going to take advantage of that going around the outside. And those two are going to go side by side through the first little section here. Shipley just getting the advantage. Luke Newing, going for the send up out of turn 4. Very dicey, very risky stuff, but managed to make it work. Thomas Wilson is in the lead of this race with Nathan Hughes just with a slight overlap on the outside. Ryan Carlson looking for a way through, but there's just nowhere for him to go at the moment. He's just going to have to sit pretty behind Hughes and see if there's a way at the bottom of this hill into turn 9 where you can possibly make something happen up the inside. No one going defensive yet. Everyone just sort of feeling each other out and seeing. There's a couple of little cars going side by side here. That is Snooks and Cosmorique is getting tangled up. And that releases DeLuca and Sean North. Through they go. Thank you very much, says those guys. We've lost a couple from qualifying. We're down to foot 13 again. But Thomas Wilson is under all sorts of pressure here from Hughes, and Thomas goes defensive down the straight for the first time, or at least the first time at high speed. Thomas Wilson very confident under brakes, and we'll get this job done. There's just not much between them at the moment. Hughes sitting pretty and giving Thomas something to think about. On the other hand, Hughes has got something to think about as well in Ryan Carlson, because he is right back there looking for a way through. He was right there with them on lap 1, and he's gone nowhere since then. God damn, these cars look good, says Bullermeister. You're not fucking wrong there. Look at those things. Look at these beauties. Let's get a bit of an up-close view of that VS Commodore. Very nicely done. Hats off to the guys who built these. As they come down the hill into the braking zone of turn 9, it looks like everyone's just still feeling each other out. No one going for the full send just yet. This braking pack of 5 have sort of broken away from the rest of the pack now. There's a little gap between second and third, but I suspect that will sort of fluctuate throughout the race. But this is great racing from the top 5 right now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, all ass to tail, or nose to tail, should I say, ass to nose. Whatever you prefer, ladies and gentlemen at home, it is Thursday night here on AK Racing, and we're in a brand new series. It's the 1990 Supercars. Looks like Nathan Hughes is going for a send here into turn 1. He's going to get the job done. Thomas Wilson looking for a switchback, but he hasn't pulled the trigger early enough, so he's going to have to sit back there into second position. Nathan Hughes, the new leader of this race. Absolutely great stuff there from that guy. Oh, look, there's been a problem here because Carlson is back there in 6th. Shipley is back there in 9th. We've had a bit of an issue there that we did not see whilst there was a battle for the lead going on. Tragedy, because I really wanted to see that top 5 just battle it out more and more. Anyway, Brody Sharp is up behind Dean Karki now. This is for 4th position. The battle up at the top of the hill at turn 6, coming down into 7, 8, and the hard braking zone of turn 9. Bit of a lock-up there from Karki. That's going to give Brody Sharp some encouragement indeed. He's all over the back of that Castrol number 11 Perkins. Beautiful VS Commodore. And Brody Sharp just ducking it into second gear, getting as much traction as possible. A little bit of oversteer on the exit, and that's enough for Karki just to kick clear for now. Shipley has gotten past Sean North in the meantime. Bill Kosmarikis is having some troubles down at the bottom of turn 9. He's off into the kitty litter. He gets going again. There's another change for the lead. These guys are at it again at the end of the straight. Nathan Hughes is going to have the advantage going into turn 2. However, Thomas Wilson did not let him go yet. It's good to have your cool boy in the chat. I think about him often, about what he's doing, and he's at the Adelaide 500. Of course you are. Probably getting guided tour of the pit lane. Who knows? Anything to get you out of your parents' hair. Here is Brody Sharp up behind Dean Karki for the time being in that beautiful wins. Actually, that's the same livery he was using for the Aussie Race Cars series. Same colours anyway, same sponsors. Excuse me, just taking a sip of my beverage here on a Thursday night in the AK Racing commentary box. Brody Sharp's got a very good exit here, and he might just be lining up. Dean Karki at the end of this straight. And keeping a close eye on that battle for the lead. They suck is quite strong in these cars, and it looks like he's going to go for the send. Brody Sharp very late on the brakes, gets to the apex first, and gets that move done. That's very nicely done. It was, wow, what was that, Matthew Richards? That is some big server lag. What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Don't think it's my PC. Could be. The jury's still out on that, and I still have a brand new motherboard and PC, or CPU rather, to put in my computer. Maybe after tonight I'll start getting cracking on with that. Who knows? I don't know what I'm doing when it comes to computer hardwares, but we have the wonders of YouTube these days. Cooper Shipley having a look at Tony DeLuca, and he's gonna just feeling his way past, or at least trying to, just giving DeLuca just a little tap. Just giving DeLuca a little tap just to let him know he's there, ladies and gents. Thomas Wilson, in the meantime, has done the fastest lap of the race. It's a 13.4. And these guys are still battling it out for the lead. Great to see. Someone challenging Mr. Wilson here. I thought it was going to be an absolute demolition job, but Hughes has got that job done a couple of laps ago, and he's managed to stay in front. It is Ford versus Holden at the front of the field, ladies and gentlemen. We might have to get an update to the cars to just for the UI here in the timing tower. Get a little Ford and Holden symbol there where the Group A symbol is. Was Falcons better, says Bullermeister. Well, look, that's contentious. Flip a coin. Depends what day it is. But I'll say Nissan's better than both of them. Don't at me. Now, there's a third car joining this little parade here, and that is Luke Newing. He's seen this battling going on up in front, and he is dead keen to have a crack at this. You can have a crack at this battle, actually. Thomas Wilson pulling out of the slipstream, just showing the nose to Nathan Hughes. Nothing happening as of yet. It's sort of all holding stations here on lap 7 of 24. Geez, that's quite a way to go. We're a third of the way through so far, not even. There's a change for the... Oh, that's Brody Sharp has collected the wall down there at, I guess, in between turn 3 and turn 4. That's going to rattle his cage just a little bit. back to the front, because this is where all the action is, ladies and gentlemen. It is Nathan Hughes holding off Thomas Wilson and Luke Newing, just slowly but surely making headway against these two. So here comes the two Commodores up behind the Falcon. Starting to get into lap traffic as well. That is lap 7 of 24, and we're into some lap traffic already. These guys just spreading it out a little bit. Nathan Hughes actually setting the fastest lap of the race now, a 1:13.4. So just a slightly better 1:13.4 than Wilson did a couple of laps ago. So these guys all very evenly matched. That is a lap car off the track. I thought that might have been our leader. Woo! Got a bit excited there. No need for that. These guys know what they're doing here at AK Racing in the 1998 V8 Supercars series. Tell you what, there's a lot of racing to be had around the traps here at AK Racing now. We've got this series is now kicked off. It's official. That's our Thursday night go-to. We've got the Wednesday Cup as usual. That is our staple for midweek racing. Wednesday Cup, our staple for midweek racing, and for anyone wanting some close, tight battles, last night was absolutely cracking round here at Sandown as well, actually. Oh no, it wasn't. It was, what am I talking about? Townsville. We're up in sunny North Queensland last night, so I did have an early flight to get back down to Melbourne to get out to Sandown and get all set up for this stream tonight. Brody Sharp, however, is right up behind Karki. He's actually right up beside him. And they're going to go side by side up the main straight, but I suspect Karki's just going to brake later here, as he does. Try to send it around the outside. Gives Brody something to think about. That's great driving there from Karki, and he will have the advantage going into turn 2. And because of the way that track goes, yep, Brody has to yield there, or it would have been a bit of a Verstappen-Hamilton situation at Monza a few years ago. That's a good question, Matthew Belton, in the chat. I do not know. I'm going to do my best. Certainly Wednesday we'll get the go-ahead. Sunday, every second Sunday, for our V8 Supercar series. What else was I talking about? The other series that we've got going. We've got this on Thursdays. We've got the Wednesday Cup. We've got our Aussie race cars happening this Sunday. So that's 3 series. Then next Sunday we've got the V8 Supercars. That's 4 series. And then we've got the newest of the series as well, or the second newest, is our Australian Touring Car Championship, the ATCC 70s and 80s vehicles, which happens on a Saturday afternoon. So what's that, 5 series? There's a lot to sink your teeth into around the traps. And you're right, Matty Belton, my voice is not going to hold up through all of this. But that's okay, I'm going to put the word out here. If anyone fancies their hand at commentating and broadcasting, we're always looking for someone to help me out. Come and join the commentary team. You want to chuck your hand up just for a bit of commentary action, perhaps, and not so much the broadcasting side of things, because that is the more difficult thing to do. You're more like a director, and you're trying to do all that while you're talking. It's very hard to do. But yes, you do, Matthew. You need to start racing again. You're signed up in a few series, I've noticed. But always room for bums on seats in a few of these places here. Tommy Wilson doing his best for now, trying to hold on to Nathan Hughes as we come up to almost half race distance. Yeah, there was a bit of confusion about the start of the ATCC race. Certainly did catch a few out. We just need to be more consistent with our announcements. So I always like to make an announcement an hour before, or at least when the race server goes live. Let everyone know. The race server is live and quali will be in 1 hour. Yeah, come on, Matty. You jump in now. You might be able to join race 2. Both of you, actually. You sign up. I don't know how the server works. If it's an event, you might not be able to. But certainly for next week, jump in and have a go. They're not as easy as they look, but I tell you what, these guys at the front are making it look easy at the moment. Nathan Hughes still leads the way with half race distance to go, quarter of the way through the night. Thomas Wilson hot on his heels. And Ryan Carson just casually back there in 4th, setting the fastest lap of the race at 13.2. So the lap times are starting to tumble as the fuel starts to burn off. 12 laps to go. Brody Sharp again behind Dean Karki. These guys have been fairly inseparable this race. Trickleback thinks he'd be behind Nate, so you'd be up there battling for the lead. I'll believe it when I see it. Still got about half a second gap. These guys are the closest battle on track at the moment. Brody Sharp dipping it into turn 6. Looking for a way past. Dean Karki has been around the traps for a while. Oh, and he's just locked them up. And that will be enough of an invitation for Brody Sharp to pull alongside. He will be on the wrong side of the track, however. If he can just send it around the outside, sail it, and maybe poke it up into turn 11 or 12 there. It's not going to happen this time, but Cooper Shipley's joined in the party as well. I'll tell you what, if there's a party, Cooper Shipley is there. With bells on, let's get a on-board view here. He's got his own livery. The Sega Saturn number 2, Cooper Shipley. Late on the brakes. He's got Brody Sharp in front. Dean Karki, you can see just over the yonder there in front of Brody Sharp. We're just going to go past that because Thomas Wilson's got a great run on Hughes here going up the back, looking into turn 6. Both cars right out sideways. Thomas Wilson has somehow managed to keep that car under control. That's great car control from the number 20. And the battle's not over yet. Let's see if we can get some sort of angle. Here we go. We can see the cars now. Nathan going defensive. Thomas Wilson looking for a bit of a switchback, maybe a late apex there to take full advantage of the suck down this main straight. And let's see if he can get any of that suck. I'm just watching the gap there to Nathan Hughes as it slowly disappears. Well, a little bit of rubber banding there. There's a lap car that's going to be in the way here, ladies and gents, in a very unopportune time. Luke Newing just making his way past as well. I think that's might be Sarge Biff. I'm not too sure. But these guys are still nose to tail, looking back through the field. Brody Sharp and Dean Karki still, again, 3/10, 4/10 the difference. Apart from that, there's fairly big gaps in between everything else. So forgive me for focusing on the same couple of cars, but that's where the action is, ladies and gents. Speaking of some action, here it is. Brody Sharp up behind Karki again. It's all about this turn 4. When you've got a car in front, if you can just get that powered down, get a little bit more traction than the car in front, you'll go a long way to making an overtake up this back straight, should I say. Just shoving the nose in at turn 6. Probably not the most advised thing safety-wise, but you can get the job done there. These guys coming down the hill. Brody Sharp looking for a way through. Dean Karki very much aware of his whereabouts behind. And there's actually a Mitre 10 car coming up behind number 10. That's Tony DeLuca. If these guys keep battling like they do, this will become a 3-way battle in no time. A little bit of a lock up there from Sharp, but he is still right on his tail. Dean Karki just very good on the exits, it looks like. A lot of the time that Brody Sharp makes up on the car in front is on the entries. And then, coincidentally, or hence therefore, on the other side of the corner, Dean Karki gets away better. But these guys are separated by nothing as well at the top of the hill. Into turn 6, Thomas Wilson, a few smoke signals into turn 6. Trying to get it pulled up now. Hughesy just missed the apex by a little. That's going to give Thomas some encouragement for sure. But there's just nowhere to go. And it's a difficult circuit to pass on, is Sandown. I think that's why it makes the racing so good. Whoa, a bit of something going on there, but we're all back to usual. Thomas Wilson with the fastest lap of the race at 13.1. That's pretty quick, ladies and gents. He's 2/10 behind. Hughes, he goes defensive. I don't know if that was a wise idea because Thomas Wilson does have the inside line now. He's going to look for the dive up into turn 2, gets it pulled up, and they both give each other room. That's fantastic racing. Thomas Wilson with the better traction out of 3. Both rubbing doors now, banging door handles out of 4. They're both in the drag race now. It looks like Thomas Wilson has got the better of it and a bit of an advantage now into turn 5. Whoa, there's a bit of server lag as Thomas Wilson goes off the track, but that was just a bit of desync, I think. But Tommy Wilson does have the inside line for turn 6. Very difficult to break on that side of the track. He's going to try and back him up into Newing now. Oh, Hughes with the straight back, the return serve up the inside of turn 9. Can he get it done? He does not. Thomas Wilson has got the better of that drive. Luke Newing watching all this happen and rubbing his hands together, I'm sure, because he's been brought right back into this race. Hughes has a bit of a moment. That's going to give Newing an opportunity, and that's all that he needs. He goes up into second position, and Hughes will drop back down to third. Woo-wee! That's 7 laps to go in this race, and there's a couple of seconds now deficit between him and the lead of this race. Back now to this battle for 6th position. Dean Karki still holding Brodie Sharp at bay. It's been bloody good racing so far. Just a few more bums in seats, a few more cars on track, and I suspect this will be a very popular series in time. That's what it takes. 13 out of the block, not too bad. I swear we had more in qualifying, but I don't know where they've gone. Excuse me. Just looking up ahead, Luke Newing is up behind Thomas Wilson now. The gap is about the same as what these guys are. So very much closely watching that. Nathan Hughes is also up behind Luke Newing. So this is the battle for second position. Gee whiz, Nathan Hughes is not afraid of ascend. He will always go for it by the looks of it. There is no yielding for him. Luke Newing, on the other hand, will defend with his life. So this is going to be a very good race towards the end of the night here. 6 minutes. As we got my usual co-commentator in the chat, enjoying a couple of beers and a nice romantic dinner with Andrew Ferguson. So happy birthday to Fergo, and happy night to you boys. I wish I was there celebrating with you. Excuse me. Ryan Carlson is looking at all this action. He was turfed out of the top 5 battle very early in this race from a little bit of a kerfuffle, I suppose, getting tangled up with, I think it was Cooper Shipley. Well, we'll leave that to the chat to decide, Bullermeister, who's the top and who's the bottom. I'm sure they'll figure it out themselves. If you give them enough beers, they might both be bottoms. Anyway, back to the racing. Ryan Carlson looking at these two because Hughes is right up behind Luke Newing now. Luke's going to have to go defensive because from what I've seen from Nathan Hughes, he will send it here no matter if the gap is 1 or 2 or 3 car lengths the difference. Watch this, ladies and gents. This is my prediction. Oh, geez, that was so close. The send was on and he was looking for it. I don't think it's actually Fergo's birthday, but I just like to say things and say words. But anyway, the boys are out. They are certainly having beers together down there in Melbourne, and I am missing out. But somebody's got to do the jobs, you know. Someone's got to run this commentary box. It looks like Nathan Hughes has got the overlap. Luke Newing's left the door open, ladies and gents. Hughes is going to take... Oh, there's contact up at turn 6. Newing goes straight on through. He's going to have to get on the brakes hardcore there to stop that. The stewards might have to have a look at that because I don't know if there was an advantage gained from going off the track there from Luke Newing. He certainly got a track cut, but that might not be enough. Nathan Hughes is all fired up in that 111 Ford credit car behind. But here comes Ryan Carlson now to make this pretty much a three-way battle with a little gap to Thomas Wilson at the front with 4 laps to go now. These top 4 are going to battle it out until we get home. I've got a feeling. There's Bill Kosmarikas off in the distance. So he will be the next victim of the blue flag coming up. Oh, there goes Hughes. Gee whiz. He's not leaving anything to the imagination. We're going to see how he sets this up very nicely. Oh, look at that big slide on the exit. That's going to give Carlson a bit more encouragement now. And the gaps are all steady. Actually, Brodie Sharp and Dean Karki are at it again. Brodie Sharp might have the job done this time, but he's given these two side by side bloody good racing. Dean Karki has the advantage and maintains that advantage into 2 and 3. Oh, that's good stuff from these boys, and they will go at it again, as you were, for pretty much the entire race. Brodie Sharp will have to go back to the drawing board to try and get, try and cook up some sort of plan to get around Dean Karki here. He's very close as it seems now. Don't know if there's going to be enough to be in sending range. Oh, there's smoke signals there from the number 11 Castrol car. Oh, gee whiz, it's all happening here. It's all happening here at the MCG. Ryan Carlson is right up behind Nathan Hughes, however. And Newing, he's just binned it on his own. That is a bin chicken. Thank you very much, bin chicken. We're off to the races here at Sandown. Tommy Wilson has got this race just about stitched up if he can just keep it all steady and clean from here on in. He's got a second gap to Hughes. Carlson is on his ass. Newing binned it on his own, so he's down there in 4th position. Unlucky for him. Brodie Sharp again is in front or just behind. Sorry, Dean Karki. And these guys are battling for sheep stations. You don't want to give him the boogie, the hurry up here. There's just nowhere for him to go, unfortunately. These two have been battling it out. This is probably the battle of the race these guys have had. Brodie probably has a little bit more pace than Karki, but Karki with the racecraft to just keep him out at this stage. 2 laps to go. We might see maybe a little bit of desperation. I'll tell you what, he's got a very good run here. He might be looking for an overlap. Which side of the track do you take? Go up the inside and dive it up the inside there, Brodie. He's not going to do it this time. He's going to look for a better exit, and that's probably the wise idea. That's why these guys are racing, and I'm sitting up here drinking wine in the commentary box on a Thursday night. Would have liked to give them a go, actually. I might jump in next week and see how we go. Actually, next week I'm on holidays, so there'll be none of that. But Brodie Sharp is up alongside. This time they've swapped positions. Brodie's going to go around the outside. This could be the move, ladies and gentlemen, that puts Brodie Sharp up into the top 6. And he does. He consolidates that move by getting the inside of turn 2. And thank you, mother, for the rabbits very much. That's the 45 car up into 6th position. 2 laps to go, and the battle for the lead is on now. Thomas Wilson has come a gutser, and he's let that gap slip down to half a second, and it was actually down to about 3/10 earlier. Ryan Carlson up behind Hughes as well. We might even be able to get the chopper cam for the last couple of laps here. It's been left behind. Luckily, helicopters are very fast, so he will be able to catch up. And we've got a nice little view here of our top 3 with 3 laps to go. Carlson all over the back of Hughes there through 2 and 3. Gets a pretty good exit out of 4, but so does Hughes, and so does Wilson. So those gaps are neutralised again at 5/10 and 3/10. Get a look at these liveries as well. Beautiful cars to watch out on track. It's not every day you get to see these cars racing around in the sim land. Oh, that's a big sideways moment from Carlson. That is another spinning moment there from Carlson. Oh, no. The chicken is on the loose tonight. Poor old Carlson, he did all the hard work there, but Tommy Wilson has actually lost the lead in all that chicken stuff. Goodness me, he's going to actually claim it back. What an exit there from Tom Wilson. Great racing. Oh, Hughes is going to be absolutely spewing with that. And it's the last lap, ladies and gents, so here we go. Wilson has just lost the lead and regained it again in the matter of 2 or 3 corners. There's a lap car up ahead which might just help Hughesy out. It doesn't. It's actually got in at an unfortunate time. Hughes do it for the E-Series. Okay, we're going for the E-Series. I don't know what that is. Ladies and gentlemen at home, this is the E-Series, apparently. E for easy. I don't know. E for energetic. E for electric racing is what it is. Thomas Wilson does have the advantage for now into turn 6. Hughes trying to throw everything he has down the hill and get some sort of gap retention here and get up behind Thomas Wilson, but I don't think it's going to happen. Now he has got too much of a lead coming into the final last couple of corners for this race 1 of round 1 of the first season. Oh, jeez, it was almost contact as well. Tommy Wilson's going to just claim victory, or is he? Nathan Hughes is on the comeback, but it's too late. Thomas Wilson wins race 1 in the number 20 VS Commodore. Holden claimed the first skin of season 1 of round 1. Great drive from Nathan Hughes. Tell you what, he left nothing on the table there. Returning serve on Wilson every time there was an opportunity. Absolutely beautiful stuff from him. Ryan Carlson, what could have been. There was a bit of tomfoolery at the start. I suppose he got tangled up with another driver and he went back down the order. Fought his way up to maybe a position to where he could have won the race. Luke Newing 4th. Again, just a victim of the old bin chicken there. A big compression lock, and that was the end of his race, or at least his chances of a podium. Cooper Shipley off into the wall there, but claims his top 5 position. Brody Sharp 6th after battling with Dean Karki, who we've noticed is down in 9th position. Tony DeLuca in 7th. Sean North in 8th. Dean Karki, one of the battles of the ages with Brody Sharp, but he's dropped a couple of posies on the last couple of laps there. I don't know what's happened to him. Can I see any damage? Not really. He might have just popped it in the kitty litter there along the way and lost that positioning. Ryan Snooks comes away with a top 10 on debut here at AK Racing. James Marnie as well, 11th position on debut. Sarge Biff, just getting used to the cars still. There's it's a long night to go. Another 24 laps. That means another 24 laps of practice. The 10K man, Cosmoricus, with money on his mind, gets away with the top 13 finish, or first last if you're going to want to go work from the back. He won't be perturbed by that. He'll be back in race 2 for some more action. And I'll tell you what, ladies and gentlemen, I will be back in race 2 for some more action as well. So we see, who's that, number 2? That's, I don't know who that is. Number 2 is Ryan Carlson. I should know that. I've just been looking at these fucking cars for the last 24 laps. But that is race 1, run and won by our man Tommy Wilson. In the most plain-looking livery he could find, I'm sure. The white number 20 with the Unifilter and Fox Sports Channel 10 on the bottom there. And Shell. But we'll be back very shortly, ladies and gents, with race 2. It's the same length. It's 24 laps. And it's going to be starting with Tom Wilson on pole, Nathan Hughes 2nd, Carlson 3rd, Will Newing 4th, Shipley 5th, Sharp 6th, DeLuca 7th, North 8th, Karki 9th, Snooks 10th. Marnie, Biff and Cosmoricus make out the rest of your field. We'll be back very shortly, ladies and gents, with race 2. 1 minute to go, ladies and gents. It's time for race 2 of the evening. It's another 24-lap affair around Sandown. Got Tommy Wilson and Nathan Hughes. I've got a feeling they're just going to resume the battle. Resume the battle that they were having in race 1. That music slapped, says Brent C. You're not wrong. Massive regurgitator fan, thank you very much. Who isn't? If you're not, you can show yourself the door. I know there's a couple of big 90s music fans in the chat right now. Shout out to you, people. Boys and girls, everyone's welcome here at AK Racing. Speaking of which, we've got the lights up, and I can hear the revving of these V8s. I can see some flames shooting out of Hughes' car as well. We've got some lights on. We're going to have some lights off in a second. We're going to get a better vantage point. Here we are, ladies and gentlemen. They are off and racing in race 2. Hughes has got an absolutely cracking start. Look at the Luke Newing. He's going to dive up the inside. He might even have the lead here in race 2. He's done it. Oh, they all compressed. Luke Newing just on the inside of Nathan Hughes, who returned serve, and he takes the lead. Thomas Wilson will slot into 3rd, Carlson into 4th, Brody Sharp into 5th, with Cooper Shipley around the outside of him. Sean North on his outside with Tony DeLuca behind. Kaki and Snooks just bringing up the rear. Sarge, Biff, Mahoney and Cosmarikas getting into a bit of damage there at the back. Back to the front, and Nathan Hughes is out to a 4/10 lead over Luke Newing. Thomas Wilson got him in his sights, and it looks like he's making a fair bit of ground very rapidly. Ryan Carlson watching all this happen from over the hill, but we're going to stick with Wilson because he's right up behind Thomas. Whoa, look at that. Jumping over the curbs on the way down the hill. Get those brakes on, boys, and they do it. Little bit of touch into turn 9. Get it out, boy. Into turn 9, and they shoot off down towards turn 10 now. Woo, boy. It's all happening here on the first lap, but it looks like Hughes is out to a little bit of a lead. Luke Newing being a bit of a cork in the bottle at the moment. Nothing too serious. But if he can just hold on to the back of Hughes, it looks like everyone's made it around the first lap nice and good. Matt Belton says he likes the 80s music better. I do agree with you. 80s music slaps as well. The 90s has just went up. Blew up. Take a breath. Thank you very much. I will do that. And a little sip of my drink. In the meantime, looking back through the field, our closest battle back here is Dean Kaki on the back of DeLuca. 6/10 in it. We're just looking up and down the field now. Looks like Wilson's again on the back of Newing. I'm going to sit that camera just on the top of the passenger seat there as they navigate the treacherous turn 6 down through the little whoop-de-doo roller coaster section. Very hard to get the brakes on into that turn 9. As the car is bouncing around, especially if you're coming across those curbings. The car's bouncing around, you're not quite in a straight line. Very easy to lose control of the car. Thomas Wilson probably wants to get past Luke Newing as soon as possible right now because he can just see his adversary, Nathan Hughes, from race 1, sort of disappearing off into the distance. That gap now about 5/10 to Luke Newing in front of him. So that's almost 8/10 to the lead for Tom Wilson. Oh, just a bit of oversteer. Oh, he's very good through that section. You can see the confidence. He just sort of dips it in. Look at that, just missed the inside curving. There is a change for position back here. Dean Kaki has got past Tony DeLuca. DeLuca dropping back through the field. He is currently 9th. But he's got Ryan Snooks behind him and the lights are blazing. And as soon as I take my eye off up the front, here goes Tommy Wilson. Has the has the overtake on Luke Newing. Ah, God, I'll get used to this one day. Here we go. He's right up behind Nathan Hughes now. I wonder if there's a reverse cam that we can look. Well, there sort of is. We're getting a lot of back seat area and a roll cage. But you can see Tommy Wilson back there. You can always see his eyes lighting up at the I guess the excitement of this battle here. Back to it. Ryan Carlson up behind Luke Newing. We're going to see if he can make a little bit of a send here. He's not going to do it. He just does the sensible thing. Sticks behind, waits for a mistake maybe. Luke Newing good for one of them, good for one of them, as we've seen. And my voice breaking like a 14-year-old boy at the moment. Just going to try and get that. You reckon the EL's quicker in a straight line, says Lee Tricklebank. They shouldn't be. Yeah, absolutely. That must be the newest chef on the block there, Brent Cook down in the chat. Came to watch the replay of Wednesday Cup, and here we are broadcasting 2 nights in a row here for the 90s V8 Supercars, 1998 to be in fact. Well, there's some good racing happening here, so I don't blame you for doing that. Oh, there's a little bit of a contact there between it's Carlson and Newing. No harm done, no foul, no one's crying yet, but I'll tell you what, there is a bee's dick between these two boys going up the main straight. Let's get a front view, let's see if there's any overlap. There is. Carlson's going to go for the send here, up into turn 1. Who's on the brakes last? It's actually... Whoa, look at that. Oh, that's great driving there from Carlson. Even though Newing was the first one into that turn, Carlson just believed in himself, sort of four-wheel drifted it through on the inside, and that's him up into the podium positions. What an overtake, what skill, what else can we get here tonight? We've had it all, ladies and gents. Great battles for the lead, great battles in the back of the pack here as well. We've got Cooper Shipley up behind Sean North, number 2 of Cooper Shipley in his Sega Saturn team colours. He's got Mr. North in front. Misses the bit of an apex allergy there at turn 6, but that's okay. There's nothing, not too much damage there done. Certainly not allergic to that one at 9. He gets that ducked in nicely, and he's making his way up behind Sean North as we speak. Beautiful looking cars out on track, I have to admit. I don't see many ELs on the road, or VSs for that matter, out in the wild anymore. Usually get the odd one up in Kingaroy, but you usually weren't registered, and like a bunch of kids driving them through town on their way to the outskirts to do doughies out near the TAFE. So, yep, shout out to all the Kingaroy folk in the chat. I'm sure there's none. It's Cooper Shipley up behind Sean North now. Gets a very good exit. That might be the traction that is required to make this gap disappear to the car in front. Although, I'll tell you what, the EL is very quick in a straight line. You can see that Shipley did get the better traction out of the 2 out of 4, but just could not get that gap any kind of lower at the time. Jumps over the curbs. Whoa, get the brakes on. Almost gives him a little bit of a love tap on the way into 9. He's going to have the outside run. These guys are very close on track at the moment. There's a little battle for 3rd place I'm keeping my eye on as well. Cooper Shipley just searching for a way through at the moment. There's nowhere for him to go. Sandown serving up another dosing of just battles up and down the pack. Might fire up the chopper. See if he can do some reverse driving. Here he is. So, Cooper Shipley looking for the send up into turn 1. He might have got this job done. These two are side by side, banging door handles. Sean North goes off the road. Oh, but that's it. That's the move done there for Cooper Shipley. He's got a lap car in front that he has to just get out of the way of. He's done that nicely, and there goes Shipley up the road, should I say, in 6th position now. Good stuff, ladies and gents. We'll get back to the track cams. As our next closest battle now on track is Brodie Sharp, with Luke Newing in front, just having a bit of trouble here. You see him going well wide down the back section there. Brodie Sharp's going to absolutely give him something to think about here, with all these little mistakes are compounding for Luke Newing now. We saw him, pretty much battling for the lead of the race in turn 1 right off the start. Absolutely got a cracking start. Like, I've never seen something like that. He's come from the 2nd row and almost dived it down the inside. It was only for Hughes' bravery with sailing it around the outside. that ended up with him in the lead and Newing in second. But then he was promptly passed by Wilson and Carlson, and I think he's starting to feel the pressure a little bit, as we've seen a couple of mistakes creep into his driving tonight. Brodie Sharp's just doing his best to stay on the back of him now, as Luke Newing's just sort of taken a couple of deep breaths and sort of put his head down, and he's like, right, it's time to make some headway up to Ryan Carlson in front. It is 2.1 seconds the shy, I suppose. 2.1 seconds shy. That works. Excuse me. But now we've got a bit of a neutralised situation here. We've got 16 laps to go. And this is the closest battle, 8/10 on track. Thomas Wilson just 3/10 quicker than Nathan Hughes in that last lap. So if he can do that, then we might have a battle on our hands in the next maybe 4 laps or so. But we've seen those guys sort of just playing a bit of ping pong. One of them hits a fast lap, then the other one hits a faster. And then goes back to the other one. He hits a little round the back serve and goes a little bit quicker. So these guys are very evenly matched, and I will eat my words saying I thought Wilson was just going to stomp through here tonight. Hughes, he's done his practice, and he is out in front here for race 2 tonight, ladies and gentlemen. That gap is down to 8/10, mind you, 7/10 now. Actually just fluctuating all over the place, so don't look at how big the gap is for time. Just look at it on visual cues. They're both pretty close. All it takes is one mistake, and Thomas Wilson will be right up the clacker of Hughes. You can see the different lines they take through that final section. I think Tom is probably the more strong through the third sector. But as always, it's that time of the night, ladies and gentlemen, where if you're watching and you're enjoying the content, please chuck your mouse over the subscribe button and press down one of your fingers with all your might. Give it a little click. Give it a little click. Smash the like button as well, because every click, every like, every subscribe goes a long way to us bringing you the best racing content in the country from the best racing league in the country. So we're coming along leaps and bounds, and it's all because of your guys' support at home, following the channel and tuning in for these streams. I quite enjoy doing what I do out here, almost as much as I enjoyed racing. But we'll be back one day, don't you worry about that, folks. As we see Wilson just making some headway now. That gap is down to 4/10, 3/10 now. Oh, boys, we got boys and girls. We've got a battle on our hands now. Let's try and get a better perspective. It might just be time to fire up the chopper as usual. Let's go up. Thank you, Matty. It's always appreciated, the kind words in the chat. I'm getting better at my helicopter skills, so we can get a bird's eye view of how these guys are battling it out. Tommy Wilson just has been on fire in these last couple of laps. He's got that deficit down from 1 second to 3/10, as was predicted by the Super Coach. We're going to see how fast this chopper can go. We're going to try and get up alongside these two for turn 6. Oh, it's pretty good. It's pretty good. You can see Thomas Wilson just creeping into the shot now. Into turn 9. Very nicely done. Thomas Wilson using a bit more of the curbing than Nathan does down there. And here I think Thomas is a bit stronger over this. Yeah, you can see the gap just closing in through that turn, what is it? Turn 10, 11 and 12. Will I be streaming the ATCC Saturday night? No, I'm going on holidays this Saturday with my folks. So we're going up the coast for a week. So that'll be good. I'll be actually out of the commentary box all the way up until the next Supercars round. But if you asked maybe Zach O'Reilly, my co-commentator, he might be keen to maybe help you guys out with a bit of commentary for the ATCC. Although I think he'd be probably more interested in racing it, which I was going to do as well. That Volvo 240 looks pretty nice to drive. Burgo's actually on top of the timing tables on that practice session. The old Volvo, so I guess it's pretty strong around here. Thomas Wilson just making that gap up in the third sector nearly every time. And then you'll see Hughes just slowly turn the screws over the rest of the lap. I think whoever said it in the chat that the ELs are quicker in a straight line, I think they might be right. They just see Thomas just can't really seem to make up any of that time on the straights. Through the turns, he looks quicker. Like that was the mid-turn pace was clearly visible on the VS Commodore. But you watch this, see the gap there. It's what, at 4/10, 3/10. Basically a bee's dick. We'll get to the end of the straight. He should be having a bit of suck here, Wilson. But that XR8 livery in front. You see it's just coming back to him now, but it's just not enough. The Fords do have the horsepower by the looks of it in the top end range. VS are very good under brakes and turning by the looks of things. So I think we'll see next week. Yeah, classic V8. What, the Fords are in front for once? That'll do me. Jeez, if the Fords were ever in front, it was for one race until a certain owner of a certain team made a lot of noise, and then it was back to business as usual. That's all I'll say on that matter. But these cars are very well matched, I think. Tommy Wilson just throwing everything at Nathan Hughes at the moment. There is just no battles happening behind, so we're just going to have to stick with these two for now. Pay to win? What are we? We're not playing volleyball, Matty Richards. We're in motorsport. It's always been pay to win. You can see, oh, look at that, Thomas Wilson just driving the absolute wheels off this thing to keep up. Nathan Hughes driving just as aggressively. These guys have been fairly inseparable for most of this race. That's 24 plus 14 is 38 laps now. They've been pretty much nose to tail. The boys having a good time in the chat. Good to see. But this gap is now sort of neutralised again at half a second. Well, you know what? A good way to force some action is to just take the cameras off them. Because you watch, I'll go and talk up Snooksy for doing a great job here behind the scenes, running all this 90s V8 series as close to the real thing as possible. It actually, for everyone following at home, it does follow the exact same calendar as they did in 1998. Oh, a safety car would be a good idea. Is there one in the... There is no safety car in the pits at the moment. There was scheduled to be a safety car driver, but he has left the server, so there is no safety cars for this round at the very least. As Tommy Wilson was right up behind that Falcon there for a second. As you'll see, just the traction on the Falcon says thank you very much and fuck off, see you later down the straight. Yeah, okay, so the safety car had net issues. Oh, that's all right, next time. But what we need to do is sort out a way of deploying said safety car. We'll need a race director as well, someone who is overseeing the racing. and who is able to get on the comms to said safety driver, because there's no use having a safety car driver if there's no one really to officiate the whole thing and say, yeah, it's time for a safety car. So that's something that we can have a chat with Snooksy with during the week. Yeah, that's all you want to say. Safety car boards and flags, safety car procedure. Some people out there like to do that sort of thing, so I'm sure we're not going to have any trouble finding someone to help us out, as this is round 1 of season 1 of the 1998 V8 Supercars. These models look fantastic, and I've got a feeling they're just going to get more and more popular as the series goes on. You look at, something for an example is Wednesday Cup. We're getting a regulars 20-odd drivers each round now. But we're also in Season 9, so it hasn't always been that way. Season 1 of Wednesday Cup, there was probably less than what we've got out here on track, to be fair. So you just keep doing what you're doing, and you keep doing it well, and people come and they enjoy the racing. They come for the racing, but they stay for the commentary, so I'm told. Not to toot my own trumpet. Look, if I could get the big man in the box, Mr. Darrell Eastlake would be happy. I could probably get Zach to do a Big Daz impersonation. I'm sure he'd be right up for that anyway. Imagine that. I might see if I can find him. Is he still alive? We might get a health check on Big Daz. Oh, there's a bit of a lap car getting in not in the way, but just there. Something to think about for the leaders here. Thomas Wilson still can't make any headroad. That gap is still steady at about half a Zach is fantastic. Still steady at about half a second. There just seems to be nothing he can do apart from just filling the mirrors up of that EL Falcon and making Hughes think twice, maybe. Maybe just having him lull into a mistake somewhere along the line. That's all he can be thinking about. But here he is. He's up and he's got a bit of that suck now. That slipstream is strong here. Nathan going defensive. Thomas Wilson pulling out of the slipstream. They're both going to go side by side up into turn 6. Wilson has the advantage, but it's not enough because they are side by side going down the hill. Nathan Hughes on the inside gets to the apex first. Wilson goes back to the drawing board, throws his hands up in the air and says, how am I going to get past this Falcon? He's tried every trick in the book, ladies and gentlemen. It's just not happening for him, and he's got 6 laps to do so. Now he's just got to send it. As Matthew Belton says in the chat, he's got to get that stamp sorted. Head on down to Australia Post. Ask one of the kind attendants behind the glass, what address can you just send something to? Because here he is. There's the mistake from Nathan Hughes, and that's all the invitation that Wilson needs. They're going to go side by side into turn 2. Oh, Hughes pushed him off the track there. That's a little bit dangerous from Hughes. There was not quite a car's width there for Thomas to fit through. Oh, the stewards are going to have something to say about that, I've got a feeling. But as it is now, it's race on. As we've seen tonight, Nathan Hughes very aggressive under pressure here. Oh my goodness! But I tell you what, he's got one of the more aggressive customers here in AK Racing right up his clacker, and he's found his way down the inside. He's going to have a crack into turn 9. He's on the brake first. He's into the apex. That's the job done for Thomas Wilson. He's into the lead, but it's not over yet. Nathan Hughes is going to have a look around the outside, maybe sneak it up the inside into turn 11 and 12. Oh, it's not going to happen, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, it is. It is. He's got the inside. Thomas Wilson's going to go around the outside through turn 13. Ladies and gentlemen, Thomas Wilson is into the lead of this race now. Whoa. What a battle. Everyone at home, this is something to behold. I swear to God, this is more than the price of admission. Nathan just sends it. Oh my goodness, how good is that thing under brakes? Thomas Wilson's going to have to go back to the drawing board here on the inside. Gets the job done and leaves no room on the exit. Shuts that door promptly. And why wouldn't you after the treatment he copped the last time around? Thomas Wilson now is released. There's 4 laps to go. He's going to have to try and make his way out of that slipstream down the back because that EL Supercar has got horsepower to burn. You'll see it coming right up behind him here. We might even see a little send down into turn 9 because, yeah, as Bradsky Turby has said, Hughes is relentless. He doesn't want to sit back in second for too long. He will send it at the drop of a hat by the looks of it. Holy moly. Yeah, as you said, we've got it all here, ladies and gentlemen, at AK Racing. We've got the best racing you can imagine for. Holy moly. After 24 laps, there's another mistake from Hughes. That's given Thomas some breathing room. Wilson's finally free. He's got 8/10 to think about up his sleeve. That is unreal. Oh, boy. With 3 laps to go, Hughes will be kicking himself at that just little compression lock out of 12 into 13. Can he make the gap back before the end of this race? He actually has made up a couple of tenths as we speak, but that gap has now neutralised at about 8/10, so that is more than enough breathing room for Wilson to bring this home and make it a double here tonight. Ryan Carlson, in the meantime, with all this battling, has made his way back into the frame. He's 8/10 behind Hughes. Looking down the field, there's no other battles here, so this is where it's all at. The front 3 here, they've deserved all the airtime they have received tonight. I swear to God, this is some of the best racing I've seen for quite some time. The defending from this guy here, Nathan Hughes. Oh, there he goes. He's having some troubles in this final sector. And here comes Ryan Carlson. He's seen all this happening. And he might be aware of where Hughes is vulnerable, and it seems to be in that 3rd sector. He pulls out of the slipstream now. Hughes has gone from 1st to maybe 3rd here in the space of 2 laps. Maybe he's overcooked the rears on that thing because it looks a little bit dicey for him. And Carlson just gets that job done, gives him a little bit of a, not a hip and shoulder, but just a little bit of a rub. Just a little bit of a love tap, a little bit of a high five to say thank you, mate, for making that fairly easy compared to what Wilson had to endure pretty much for 20 laps. Ryan Carlson comes along and converts on the first time of asking. I think Hughes might just be struggling with a little bit of tyre deg, perhaps, because his pace has really... his best lap there, as you can see in the bottom right, is a 112.9. His last lap was a 114.7. That's 1.8, I guess, seconds the difference there between his best and his last. Whereas Thomas Wilson's last lap was only half a tenth better than his best. Ryan Carlson as well. Half a tenth exactly. So Nathan Hughes is on for a 14. So he's about a second slower. I think he might just be dealing with a bit of tyre deg. Maybe these Falcons, they are quicker in a straight line, perhaps, but they chew up the rears maybe a little bit more, just with just maybe a little bit more torque and horsepower in the down lows, and just chew up those rears. So poor old Nathan Hughes just holding on here for 3rd position. He's got really nothing to worry about because Luke Newing is 8 seconds down the road. So nothing too much to worry about there. Luke Newing having a bit of a lonely race now. Brody Sharp, we're going to see where the other Falcon drivers are and see how they're sort of faring. Yeah, look at that. 1.2 seconds worse than his best is Sean North on that last time around. Ryan Snooks, 7 tenths or 6 tenths. So that's probably the best faring of all the Falcons in this late stage already. Tony DeLuca, a second slower than his best on that last time around. Dean Karki in the... he's 1.4 as well, but he's in the VS. So I guess you get this far down the order. They might not be as consistent as the top guys, so you can't really take that as gospel. But we are on the final lap. Oh dear, that's a Sarge Biff I thought he might have drifted out on the track in front of our leaders there. That would have been disaster. Ryan Carlson on the charge, to be fair. He's made up a fair bit of ground to Thomas Wilson. That gap is down to 7/10. It's not going to be enough because Wilson has controlled this race very nicely. Looked a little bit desperate in some of the moves, but he did really just sit behind Hughes for the most part, and did attack him when the option was called for, or when the opportunity arose. And then just towards the end of the race, I think the pressure might have just got to Hughes, because tell you what, 20 laps of having Thomas Wilson behind you is enough to keep anyone quiet. But eventually he found his way past, and Thomas Wilson will win race 2 for this evening. That's a double for him to open his account in this series. Great racing from him. Carlson taking advantage of the crumbs falling off the table. Nathan Hughes maybe suffering a bit from tyre degradation there at the end, maybe overdriving it somewhere along the line, but went from third to first in the maybe 2 laps. Lucas Newing across the line in 4th. Had a lonely race for the most part. So did Brodie Sharp. He couldn't find his counterpart, Tony DeLuca, not Tony DeLuca, Dean Karki for that one. So he was out there on his own. Cooper Shipley in the Sega Saturn VS Commodore. It looks nice. That yellow wing on the back really pulls the room together. Sean North crosses the line for 7th. Ryan Snooks in 8th position. Tony DeLuca will eventually cross the line for 9th, with Dean Karki just behind him, and Bill, the 10K man, Kosmarikis, the nicest man in sim racing. If you've ever had a chance to talk to him in the flesh, or at least over a microphone, you will get that impression as well. Sarge Biff, I don't know what his name is, but we'll figure that out for next time. And Joe Marnie, his first time out in 8K racing, sticks with it to the end. Very good to see the new guys in the server just stick it out. I know 13th isn't the best result in the world, but trust me, you stick at it and those results will come, my man. But that is round 1 done and dusted. I didn't think it was going to be that action-packed with the only 13 cars on the grid. But I tell you what, I was proven wrong, and in a big way. That was some of the best racing we've seen. From any series around here at AK Racing. So fantastic to have this new series on board. Anyone watching that wants to get a part, but wants to be a part of it, you know the deal by now. You just go down to that section of the Discord. Slam the little button in sign-ups. That'll give you the roles, and then you'll be able to chat in the general chat. Look at the links. You'll be able to join practice servers, download the mods, have a bit of a practice, and then when you feel like you're ready to race, go back up to that sign-ups link. Pop your full name in, Sarge Biff. Pop your full name in, first and last. And then you can get out here for next week's challenge, which will be, I think we're going off to the southern part of our country, that little island down the bottom they call Tasmania, for I don't know how many laps around, how many 75Ks around Simmons Plains is about 1 million laps. So I'm looking forward to that. 1 million laps around Simmons Plains next Thursday night. I will not be here because I will be on holidays, but I'm sure you can twist somebody's arm into doing a bit of broadcasting for y'all. Excuse me. My name is Chris Munro, by the way. I am your lead commentator for this evening, and it's been an absolute pleasure. We're going to run through the race order one more time. Wilson takes the chockies in race 2. Carlson in 2nd. Hughes in 3rd. Newing, Sharp, Shipley, North, Snooks, DeLuca, and Karki round out your top 10, with Kosmarika, Sarge, Biff, Marnie rounding out the rest of the field. It's been an absolute pleasure, everyone. Be sure to give that subscription button a like, a hit, and and the what's the other one? The little thumbs up button. Give that a like, and if you like what you see, share the stream around. Share the replays around with any other sim racing communities that you're a part of. Make sure we get as many viewers as we can, because as you've seen, the racing is second to none. What's that old saying? The cars are virtual, but the racing is very real. And I really love that saying, because this is a perfect example of that tonight. No one goes home crying with any sort of spilt milk or broken cars and millions of dollars worth of things to fix. But the adrenaline and the fun rating was right up there. So hopefully you guys are happy with that, and we can tune in next week. Next stream will be the Wednesday Cup, and you'll be in the safe hands of my co-commentator, Zach O'Reilly, or Zach Eastlake, if we can get him to do his best Daryl Eastlake impersonation. I'm not very good at it, obviously, but hopefully he can go better at it. But yeah, until next time, take it easy, have a good weekend, and we'll see you on the next stream.